Yeah, unable to stay on the feet. To the punch, backflip off the wall.
Are you ready for women's style semis, dude? Do you remember what happened yesterday? Freaking Hikari's pull wraparound into that T gainer was insane.
Dude, the Hikari, like every single one of her combos was so nutty, and that was our combo round. Today we have a different format. We're going into the line round. We're about to get on screen the rules of our line round right now so you understand exactly what these athletes are doing and what they're being scored on moving into today's semi-finals for the style round. Or line round.
Athletes will perform one line using any location on the course.
Judges will give an overall impression score. The line round heavily rewards connections and obstacle interaction.
Athletes will have one attempt at their line. What?
And line should be under 15 seconds.
One attempt to get a line right? I don't think I've ever gotten anything right first try in my life.
That's what I'm talking about.
But enough of that. We got a quick little ad read. This competition is brought to you by Motion Mentors. Running a profitable parkour business can be difficult on your own. Luckily, Motion Mentors is here to help. For free resources for all types of business, head to motionmentors.org.
I'm not gonna lie, they've been helping me out. That is some good stuff. If you run a parkour gym, I'm telling you right now, check them out. But now, we gotta jump into our line round with our women competitors here at SPL3.
Let's check it out. Now,
we gonna get up in there. Look at our style competitors.
And there's Nath, the powerhouse who made it through qualifiers, has a significant step up in power over some of the other competitors.
We got Charlie Poulin, who really clawed her way back in that final round. Alleya Bourne, Audrey Johnson, and finally, Hikari Izumi.
Yeah, it's seen some serious level ups from Alleya as well. Really excited to see what she has for us today. But enough of that, here's Nath. What does she have for us? I think she's going to thrive in this round. Just making sure the cameraman knows where the heck to be. It can be really tough getting a good shot of some of these lines because the athletes do be taking up a lot of space on the course. Would hate to have a cameraman in the way.
Now, all of our women will be moving on to day 3 for the style round, but the big difference will be the point score. Coming in from yesterday, we have a difference of 0.2 split moving all the way down the line. So right now, Hikari Izumi in first with 10.
And
Nath
here's
needs
Nath
to make up 0.8 here. Oh, flyaway quarter turn.
To another flyaway.
So that palm flip.
Couple stutter steps in there. Might get dinged for that.
Inward side. Cart transition to a court. All right, a great little bar line to start things off. The connections did slowly become less and less fluid as we went.
And I would also say that she might get dinged on her course interaction because, yes, she was touching obstacles, but she was only really making use of the flat surfaces along the course, being the walls and the ground. Not a whole lot of level changes going on.
There were maybe a few different obstacles that she used, but using them together, we did have some cool stuff on the bars, like you said, but then everything else was a little bit lacking that creativity, lacking that interaction. That being said, it was a solid line, a solid idea for a line. I think the execution needed just to be a little bit better to get a really high score there. Had it been perfectly executed, that would have been a banger of a line, though.
And to the layman, that looked pretty good for a first attempt of a line, but we need to see a line that's a lot more dialed in if you're going to come out on top today. And the judges just tallying their scores. It's not going to be as quick of a style round today because they got to be putting in them numbers.
Yeah, and this round is kind of crazy. Like, the pressure mounts quite a bit because you only get one attempt at your line, whereas the combo round, you have 3 different combos. If you mess one up, that's not the end of the world, where having just one line, that really adds to the pressure, and it shows who can be a seasoned competitor and who can just keep their wits about them the entire event.
There's that palm flip. And a couple ground touches in there. 6.27 for Nath Vigneault.
And that is going to be kind of our starter score. Right now, we don't know if that's a high score or a low score, but she's the first one to go.
That's the score to beat.
We'll get filled in a little bit more on kind of how the judges' minds are working as the women continue to go.
And here's Alleya Bourne out of Edmonton, Alberta on the glow up this year.
Now, I heard from her that this is probably the longest line that she's put together. And whenever I hear long lines, I get a little bit concerned because the longer it goes, the more tired you get and the more prone to error you are. But as we saw yesterday, she's really been leveling up her game. And I think if she's been focusing on some longer lines, this could go to her benefit.
Yeah, as long as she's able to put it together in a good fashion where the end of the line doesn't consume the beginning of it. We don't want to see moves added, you know, super to kind of pad the line because they will start to work against you.
That does fall into the composition that our judges are looking for. They don't want your line to start off strong and then peter out. They want those hard-hitting pieces all the way through.
Nice, starting with the flyaway.
Cart transition.
Okay, making use of the pathing on that cartwheel. Okay,
there we go. She
today.
sat that one down yesterday, not today though.
A little bit stop and start, so she will get dinged on the fluidity.
2-step wall flip though. Backwards roll.
Oh,
to the pistol back to finish things off.
And that back roll really complemented that pistol back. Really solid move choice.
I really want to highlight Alleya's execution there. Everything was landed. Everything was stomped, to be honest with you. There was no real knocks to execution. The fluidity, like you said, there's just a couple extra steps or a couple back steps as we see coming through with this whole replay. Right there, we have that one stumble.
Basically the last stumble until the end.
And now for something like an overall impression, the speed and the pace of the line was a little bit low. But to be honest with you, it was steady and consistent all the way through. So it was just kind of a different take.
And look at the way she has to place her feet around the steps on that brick wall to get that wall flip right.
Dropping into that roll, leg forward, straight to the pistol back.
Jeez! That's a sick drop trick. She's got those pistol backs on lock.
Yeah, that was a really, really good line from Alleya, showing yet again how much she's leveled up from last year.
It looks like Charlie's getting into position, but we still haven't heard on Alleya's score.
Now it does look like Charlie Poulin is getting into play. She's giving the thumbs up. The judges are giving their thumbs up.
All right. We'll just have to find out later, I guess.
All right, she kips up onto the bar. Oh, a kip Kong over.
You catch your toes on that, you're going face first
to the Webster Pre.
Oh.
Can't quite stay on the wall. Cart, punch.
Oh, switching it up.
That was a sick transition to the front handspring into the wall. What she got to finish things off? Back lay pre.
Sandwich, and that's it for Charlie.
I'm loving that one from Charlie. Obviously, bit of an execution error on that Webster pre.
Yeah.
High level of difficulty to go for it, though.
And I like that she used that round off that we saw from yesterday, but she switched it up with that direction change, complementing it with that dive roll to place her for that next move.
I also love the creativity on this start. The kip Kong through to the fat drop coming up right to that web spree. If she landed that, man, if she could have landed that and then continued through with the rest of her line, that would have been my favorite that we've seen so far. I really love this front handspring transition
Super
onto here,
clean.
Directly to the top, into that back leg.
And she's leaning back as soon as she gets up there. That's how you can tell she's super dialed on that trick. And what's Charlie going to get score-wise? Let's find out.
she's got to be really proud of that one. Even with not quite landing that Webster Pre, that's such a difficult one to land. I mean, and the rest of the line came out beautifully.
Yeah, usually for a Webster Pre, screw it. 6.48.
6.48 for Charlie Poulin. That will put her in second place from what I'm seeing, with Alleya Bourne in first with a score of 6.57.
So 6 is across the board, but now we're going to start to see the competitors who can break that 6-point barrier. Audrey Johnson up next with some really strong, high difficulty tricks that will set her ahead of the rest of the competition.
And you nailed it. She is becoming known for her high difficulty, but there is usually a pause that I've seen a lot of between each one of her moves.
Yeah.
It's almost like one move into the next. If she can clear that up, because connections are scored very heavily in this round, she could go really far.
I would love to see some clean transitions because I know she's going to be bringing that difficulty. Gainer full. Absolutely.
Steps forward into that gainer full.
Little stumble there. I hope her ankle's okay.
Yeah, unable to stay on the feet. To the punch, backflip off the wall.
Back to the wall?
Super low hang cast. Again with the high difficulty.
Woof. So even with that stumble, with her score from yesterday and the composition of the rest of the run, I don't think that's going to set her behind too much. Maybe in her score for today, but we'll definitely be seeing her and all the other competitors in tomorrow's event.
You're right, and she was 0.2 behind going into this round.
How are you going to step into a gainer full?
Oh, just an unlucky fall to the side there. It looked like she was going to be able to hold on to it with just planting the hands, but here we see the trap door over that gap.
To step as
Look at
well.
that. Yeah, that transition. Man, I didn't catch how clean that was the first time through. That was a really nice transition out of the trap door, all the way through, vaulting down into the low hang cast.
Oh, and there's that smile we're looking for. Stay there. Audrey Johnson with a score of 6.87.
All right.
Even with that little slip up, that's what I'm talking about.
That is going to bump her into first place. And as we saw, and as we were talking about, the connections are what are really highly being favored here. Even with some mistakes, even with some falls and stumbles, still keeping the connections clean, and that's what these judges want to see.
Speaking of connections, here's an athlete that really knows how to put her moves together, Hikari Izumi.
Every one of her lines is so fluid, and the creativity with the routes that she takes and the moves she decides to use.
No one's going to be making a line exactly like hers. She just has a completely different approach, and that will set her apart from the rest of the competition. All right, getting those legs going.
She's getting her mental fully prepared for it. All right, starting up high here on the purple.
A-twist to the sandwich.
Oh,
Wow.
to the dive roll off the brick, precisioning across, showing some parkour skills.
And look at this power she's got coming out of her tricks.
I love the speed in every one of these transitions. Yes!
There's that turn Jonah.
The turn Jonah again. That was our most fluid, and what I love to see about that, and I love this in every style round, is the amount of power and speed put into every single movement. They're not just meandering from thing to thing, but Hikari is getting there with some speed.
And that turn into the dive roll off the wall.
It's the same flow you see from her. It's
Showing some of those parkour skills, using this toe shoot to gain distance.
incredibly well rested.
And this is going to set her up for that swing inward Jonah.
Just the
Swing
one
flyaway Jonah?
swing into the swing flyaway Jonah. So nicely done from Hikari.
And let's see how that's going to score her.
Man, she's got a big smile on her face. She's got to be happy with that one.
Absolutely.
7.28 for Hikari Izumi.
Breaking that 7 barrier, that's what we love to see.
Massive score from Hikari, and she was moving into this round in first place with a 0.2 lead over the next competitor.
Woo!
She just made that gap massive with that run.
She is going to be the one to beat in tomorrow's final round. You're going to have to pull some crazy stuff out to get ahead of her.
Now we're going to take a look at these leaderboards. The key thing I want to draw your eyes to is those total points. Hikari Izumi in first with 17.28, then Audrey Johnson with 16.67. A lot of ground to make up there, followed by Charlie Poulin in third.
Come on.
Alleya
Super
Bourne
close.
and Nath Vigneault.
So a big jump to get to Hikari's score, but other than that, the rest of the contention is up in the air.
And that women's round was brought to you by Parkour DXB. Looking to make an impact? Coach with the Parkour DXB and improve lives one jump at a time.
Parkour DXB, thank you for supporting SPL3, the Parkour World Championships.
How do you feel about your run, Charlie?
Very good.
Yeah, happy
Yes.
with that?
Yes, very.
Everything went the way you planned?
Huh?
Everything went according to plan?
Yes.
Yes, good. Do you...
Even the website? Yes.
Yeah.
The website is more,
Yeah, a little bit tricky.
yes,
And it's your first time competing at SPL?
yes,
Yes, and you ready for the finals?
yes.
Yes. You have good big trick planned?
I check.
Okay.
I check. Yeah.
Okay, well, really well done out there. It's so fun to watch.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, Charlie, one of our youngest competitors here at SPL. It's crazy to see the new generation of athletes coming through. They're always doing something different, something bigger. And now we have a classic athlete who's been here many, many times. Hikari, you did so well. How do you feel about your run?
Now I'm really happy to finish without any injury.
Yeah. It's tough when you're competing in all different categories to stay uninjured. Do you really try to pace yourself and make sure that you're taking the time between rounds?
Yes, especially before the skill and speed. Today is really hard one, so
Yeah, big course.
Even I really want to try, but also I don't want to mess up. So
Yeah.
that's really hard mental things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy to overcome the situation. So
Yeah, you did so well. Your line was perfect, super smooth, super connected. Is there an element of experience that you feel helps put together the line?
for style,
Yeah.
I'm really happy to finish that
Yeah.
with like a smooth and
Yeah.
even I didn't put hardest skill,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I still think about to connect everything so smooth.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a good thing in style is to go for overall points. Make sure the line is balanced between hard tricks, but making sure it's really well put together and makes sense. And really well done, like really well done out there. Congratulations on such a good run. See you in the finals.
I'm gonna do my best.
All right, Hikari, everybody. What an absolutely incredible athlete. It's amazing to watch her in multiple rounds, still just pushing it out. Now we're on to the men's style final. Whoa, can't wait to see what happens.